So it's good. It's been a minute since I made a YouTube video. Honestly, the past 2 years have been kind of wild. I really went from really feel like I was on top to really losing it all. I want to say the last time you guys seen me, I was on here trying to make $100,000. Shortly after I made that money, I thought I was finna go to Atlanta, meet one of my partners, get connected with some bigger business connects, and possibly have my first 7-figure year, because I just had the 6-figure year. But the crazy part was I got to Atlanta, got the contact, and I literally lost everything. And that really kind of did a lot to me mentally, because I don't think I've been that far in a dark space. Really just going through it all. I really give credit to God just for where I'm at right now, because like me a year ago looking at me now, which is really like a year ago from this month, I want to say, is really when everything went crazy. Like I said, I lost a lot. My apartment, one of my vehicles, I lost a whole bunch of stuff, and at this point I don't even care about saying it because it's the truth. Now, I'm just in a season of growth, but that growth really comes from God. Man, I was trying to do everything on my own. It wasn't working out the way I wanted it to work out. And then I started trusting in him. And he gave me a vision for an event, just teaching people, like, because of food prices going up, gas prices going up, just cost of living going up in general. Like, I want to show people how to make money, like how I make money. But then also because I struggle too with finances at times, like doing the right things with my money. I wanted to get somebody in there who actually speaks about it. So I called on accountant and had them agree to come speak. And then I also had a lady come who was supposed to speak on credit. And long story short, like the finances and everything that was needed for the event, if I'm being completely honest, man, I didn't have it at all. Like some of the money I had for some stuff, but by the grace of God and by my mom, who I love, and I hope you see this video, and I appreciate you. And she told me, she's like, well, you know, you don't have to spend all this money, because she was seeing me figure out ways to try to come up with the money, but she was like, you know, you don't have to spend all this money. She's like, you can find sponsors and stuff like that. We had a lot of local businesses, I mean, multi-million-dollar companies sponsor. It's just crazy because it's like, man, like everything came together. Again, I feel like this was God leading me. It's not me doing it. And because of that, I started working, man. It was like every day something new and good would happen. But we even got a sponsor who ended up becoming a speaker, which worked out well. One of my speakers actually had canceled on me, but that was good because I had paid that sponsor and I needed some money at the last minute to get food that I wanted to get. And honestly, I was just stressed in, and like God really allowed that speaker to cancel the date of the event, and that money that I had paid them to speak actually ended up becoming the money to actually you know, pay for the food. And it was just a blessing because like after the event, man, I got so many compliments on the food, and honestly, that was like the last piece to the puzzle. And it's like, even the things I didn't have the funds to pay for, that money came in to be able to pay for the rest of the stuff I had to pay afterwards. And I learned in that process that, you know, when you really in the flow of what God got you doing, it's like, it's nothing that you miss. Like, it's nothing that you feel like, okay, I can't reach it. It's out of reach. I'm out of touch. It's like when you connected to him, you're in touch with everything. But I think it's important for me just to kind of share my journey, like I say right now, with the stuff that I've been through in the past year, just to show you like where my faith is actually taking me. You know, like the works that I do, the money that I make, man, all that is powered through God, bro. I'm just empowering what he powers me with. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm using what he given me to elevate. And biggest thing he's been giving me right now is the mental game, the mental aspect, and the spiritual aspect. With that clarity, that's when I started, like, you know, fasting more and reading my word more, and just really just focusing more on God than focusing on just what I wanted to do. And since then, I can't even lie, it's not been no easy process, bro. Like, it's really been a process where it's like, you know, the people that you love, sometimes they don't feel like they love you back, because it's like, they used to you being here, but then it's like in your mind, you know, you're trying to break the surface, so you know you're going up. And it's not that you're better than them or you're doing better than them, but it's just like the things that you were once concerned with down here, you're not here no more, you're going up. And, you know, I think sometimes people because of being around us a lot, they get familiar with us. And because they get familiar with us, the ideas and concepts of us changing, it don't always stick well, but it also don't always resonate with them because people see you for who they think you are, not for who you are. And I noticed, like I said, since I started this journey, is I could peep all like spirits coming out at me, like through friends, family. I can go to the grocery store. I can just see like, it's not really just the people, it's just the enemy using his spirits in the people. That's what makes the attacks feel so real. That's what makes stuff feel so personal. And you know, knowing that, it helps me operate in a better sense, but also reading my Bible has been helping me operate to a higher level. I drove through a neighborhood one day and I was like, man, I'd love to get a house over here. Like, I'll get a rental over here. I'll get a real property over here. I just get both. I'll live here or rent it out. Well, lo and behold, right through the neighborhood, I ran into a guy and he was like, hey, you know, like this house over here got some issues with it. You might want to reach out to the owner. So reached out to him. Lo and behold, they did have issues and I was able to help them. But the thing is, it's like, again, I'm coming from a space of not having what I'm used to having. I mean, it's crazy because like the way God works is, it's like, man, he don't need a lot to do a lot. And it's like, all you have to do is just do your part. So I did my part. And once my part was over, it felt like, you know, man, what's next? Because it's like, I did what I was supposed to do, but at the same time, it still don't feel like it's enough. It's always like what you could do, a gap, and then the outcome. But in that gap is where you let God use you to get to that outcome, or you let God do his part to get to that outcome. So like going through this event, it really showed me just to keep faith and stuff because, again, like I didn't have what I needed, but it was always supplied. And because even when I had those moments telling myself like, oh man, I don't have what I need, I kept feeding myself like, hey bro, it's gonna be okay. Like, think about this. This is what you did before. You didn't have it then, but look what popped up. Look what happened. You know, I try to be more grateful and have more gratitude in my prayer. So, you know, I've been working on this house, praying to God, asking him to give me the home, believing that he's gonna give me the home. You know, I've done my part, and, you know, I mean, truthfully, that's all you can do. You know, you just believe and just keep moving forward. So, I just came back from Atlanta, and that trip crazy too. Man, I didn't even have everything I needed for that. Like, crazy part was like the way God set up is like me going out there. I wasn't even tripping on not having money, which is something normally I would trip on. But it was like, I just had this belief like, man, something's gonna come out when I go out there. Like some money gonna touch down while I'm out there. I'm gonna get some money. I'm gonna get a check some kind of way. And lo and behold, money did come to where we actually got to do additional stuff that we didn't really have a budget for because the way God provides. So just knowing that, like, you know, even in this season of transition, trying to get into this house that I'm working on, needing what I need to get that situated and taken care of, it's like, I'm trusting that God's gonna provide it, and I trust that he does provide it because, I mean, he's been providing everything else. And I mean, honestly, if I look back at his track record on what he did versus what I think he didn't do, I can always say that he always superseded my expectations. And honestly, by thinking about those things, it keeps me grounded and keeps me thinking, how can I move forward? So at this point, it's just like fasting, praying, believing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just being sold out, like, man, he could do whatever he wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bible says, Philippians 4:13, I could do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So it's like, I could do it if I believe in it, and if it's in his will, it's gonna get done. So yeah, man, I'm chilling, bro. I'm in a space that is like, my faith is, I still have my days, but it's like, for the most part, it ain't wavering no more, man. It's belief. I hope this is somewhat of encouragement to you guys, and I'm gonna keep documenting where I'm at with this, because I got some stuff to show y'all, and I know God finna do some stuff in my life.